Professor.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
How is everything in India? Everything is okay?
It is.
Yes.
What about there? Is it all fine there? No issues, right?
Okay. Alhamdulillah, everything is okay here.
Okay. Okay. So we'll start now?
Yes, we can start whenever you want me to start.
Yeah. Maybe the students will just do a small entry and I will introduce you. Then we'll can take over the session. Okay. On this screen, you can just present it, Professor. It's not in the presentation mode.
Yes.
You just present that, no? Slideshow mode. It's not in the slideshow mode.
My voice is clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start then.
Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Dr. Walid Alrawi. I am from the European University in Ras Al Khaimah in UAE. I'm the Chair of Management and Leadership, also the Quality Assurance Director that I am here. Today, inshallah, I will present a webinar on international quantitative versus qualitative research methods, the difference between them, when we can use them, their advantages, disadvantages for each method that we are using here. So since if everything is now, is it okay? You can see the slides here. Can I start?
Yes, slides are
Yes,
visible,
okay.
but not presentation mode.
Yes. So as we can see now, we are presenting or giving, or I will present this type of methods or research that we are using, the quantitative and qualitative. So the question that appears here, when we are going to use these, methods. Now, if it depends on the type of the research that you are going to do in your project or an assignment if you are choosing. If you are choosing a topic, there is a method for it. If you are using, like if you are trying to solve a problem that is happening, want to solve, there is a method. So it depends on the type of method that you are using. Sometimes also you can use both of them, which is, we call it as the mixed methods, okay? So when we are talking about quantitative methods, it focuses here on numbers. Anything that is dealing with numbers, we call it as a quantitative research method. So it focuses on numbers, measurement, using surveys, tests, and statistics, if you are in the quantity. So it answers, if you are, your research depends on the questions, how many, or how much. So you are using here the quantitative research method. Qualitative, it focuses on words, meanings, and experiences. If you are going to doing your research or your assignment on a topic, you are using here qualitative research methods. So here you are using interviews, observations, and themes. So in a qualitative, we are answering the questions that are related by why and how. Okay, so the mixed method, this is the second type. The third type of method we are using, we call it the mixed method. Now, when we are using mixed method, from its name, it is combining numbers and stories by giving both the breadth and the depth. It is useful if you are facing complex research questions, so you will be able to answer it in a quantitative or a qualitative research method. So what are the learning objectives that we are going here in this presentation to understand? And by the end, you should be all able to define what is the quantitative and qualitative research in simple words now. So we can get to know what is the meaning of a quantitative research and qualitative research. Also, we should identify the main differences between these two methods And for my research, I will be able to choose what is the suitable data collection tool for each research approach. As explaining common examples, if we are doing my research through interview surveys, using interviews, case studies. Also, we should recognize the key ideas if we are, what are types of sampling, validity, reliability, and the truthworthiness. Also, if we are going, maybe I am using both of these the methods, so I have to decide when mixed method is the best option. Why this matter in the real research? Because it's helping the students. You have to select which is the best right method for your assignments. And if you are doing an assignment or you are doing a project, a dissertation, improving research quality and the clarity of findings, supporting better decision-making in business. And it depends on the sector or the field that you are doing your research. Either it is in business, education, health, social studies. It depends on what you are studying. Preventing also the mismatch between the research question and the research design. You will be able to differentiate what are the research questions that you are going to answer in your assignment or report or dissertation, and what is the design, how you are going to design your research. So at a glance, the research methods here or an overview, then we are getting deeper here now. So the main focus of a quantitative research is if you are dealing with numbers and measurements, you are using the quantitative research methods. Qualitative, if you are dealing with meanings, experiences, more about like talking and doing studies here. Common question to be answered in a quantitative research methods, how many and how often, but in qualitative, you are answering why and how. The data form is numerical data and quantitative. In qualitative, you are using words, you are using images and observations. So at the main outcome here, you are doing your research in quantitative as in pattern, relationship trends, but in qualitative, you are explaining an insight and in themes. In quantitative research, if you are using like 100, 200, 300 samples, you should use the quantitative because it will be more useful in larger samples. But in qualitative, you are using like if you are doing a research in a school or in a class or something, or in your department, so you are using a qualitative because it deals, once the sample they are doing is smaller, you will be more focused because you will be able to get more information, get more focused answers about your question. But in quantitative, you are dealing with larger samples, maybe in hundreds or thousands. So why the choice of method matters? Why should I, if I am doing a research or doing a report or something, why it is better to me, or I will do it as a quantitative method will be used, or you will be used as a qualitative. So a good method, it helps you. What it will help you here, if you are choosing the best method for your assignment, your report, or dissertation, you are collecting useful data. You are answering your research questions in a clear way, avoiding also wasting the time and resources, and present findings that others can trust because you have done it in a better way. You are using the best software to analyze your data that you have collected. But if you are using the poor method, so let's say that you are using for a small assignment, but you are using quantitative instead of qualitative. So here their method will be poor. Why? What it will be the weak or confusing the findings. Also, there will be missing important evidences. Your questions will be unclear. So there will be appearing problems in validity or credibility. As a simple example here, if you can see, if you want to know how satisfied students are, a survey can measure their satisfaction scores. if you want to know why they feel that way, so you can do interviews here, can uncover the reasons. So you are using the best method here as a qualitative because you are focusing on doing interviews or doing surveys to satisfy students. So now we will come to each separate why we are using each type of method. Now, when we are talking about what is the quantitative research turns reality into measurable data, which means, as a simple definition, quantitative research collecting the data in the form of numbers. It usually tests ideas, comparing the groups, measuring any change, using statistics also to analyze the results. So the most key features here, structured tools such as surveys and tests, large samples here are very common. You will use many types of tables, graphs, percentages. Also, you are testing hypotheses, measuring relationships. Now, there are many softwares at the end when you are doing your dissertation or something. You are using, like now there are many softwares like SPSS, there is ANOVA, there is AMOS. Okay, there are many well advanced applications will give you the right results. If you are using qualitative research here, you are exploring the meaning in depth. Why we are concentrating more on theoretical part, not the numerical part. As a simple definition here, qualitative research collects non-numerical data, such as the words, opinions from the people, their observations, also trying to understand the people experiences, the beliefs, the actions, their social context. So the main features here that you are using in the qualitative research is flexible tools, such as you are using interviews and observations. As we know, there are many types also in interviews. There are structured, there are unstructured interviews that are done by panel, face-to-face, maybe interview done by the phone, video conference, whatever type is available. This is you can do in interviews. Also, so the samples that you are using qualitative research are smaller. Focus samples are common. Findings often grouped into themes and patterns. So here in this qualitative research, we are using to understand the meaning, the context, and the reasons behind behavior. So this is why if you have to choose wisely your type of research. If your research is more theoretical than numerical, then you have to use the qualitative research. If you are depending on like large samples here, so you have to use the quantitative research method. So as you can see, as a summary here, and quantitative versus qualitative, they answer different kinds of questions. In quantitative, you are measuring. The research aim is measure and test, but in qualitative, exploring and understanding and searching. The settings here in quantitative are more controlled and structured, but in qualitative are more natural and flexible. The role of the researcher in quantitative is more distant and objective, but in qualitative, you are more focusing, more involved, and interpretive. So as a style or analysis style, as we said, we are using statistical analysis, but in qualitative, you are using thematic or a content analysis, like judging your, as a conclusion, as your report, your theoretical assignment you have done. As a result, quantitative more focusing on tables, charts, averages, percentages, significance. But in qualitative, you are using quotas, you are using themes, you are using narratives. So when to use the quantitative research, it is best when measurement and comparison are needed. You are using quantitative research when you want to measure the level of something, such as the satisfaction, stress, sales, anything that is dealing with the numbers, you are using the quantitative research. Comparing groups, for example, male and female students, testing whether one variable affecting the other, generalizing findings to a larger population. So as a simple example here, in quantitative research, you are using like an example answering. How many students prefer online learning? You have to choose. Does training increase the employee productivity? So you are measuring here the performance of the employee? Is it increase or decrease? Or is there a relationship between the study hours and exam scores? Some people study, they say, that, oh, we are studying more hours, then we will achieve more scores in the exam. But it depends. Some people know, like they can, instead of studying for lots of hours, no, they are more focused. They study less hours, but also they can achieve more exam scores. So the correlation here is a difference here. Okay. As a qualitative research, as we said, it is best when you are using depth, meaning, and context are needed. You are using the qualitative research when you want to understand their feelings, their experiences, their perceptions, exploring like a new topic, a complex issue, studying also a behavior or a real life setting, discovering reasons behind opinions or actions. Simple examples when you are using qualitative research, asking when do students feel anxious in presentations? How do the teachers they experience an online assessment? What challenges do new entrepreneurs face in the first year? So these challenges, so here you are dealing more with theoretical part. You are not dealing here with the numbers. You are dealing with talking and stories and any experiences that. But sometimes you are using both mixed method research, quantitative and qualitative. This is why most of the MBA and PhD students, they use this type. They use quantitative and with the qualitative research. So as we said, the quantitative numbers are breadth, qualitative words are depth. Mixed methods, both breadth and depth. As an example here, as you can see, like if a researcher is doing a survey on 300 students about their stress levels, sometimes you have to make an interview now for like choosing a sample of to answer the questions. So here in the first issue, when you are doing a survey of 300 students, it's here quantitative. But when you are focusing or you are choosing collecting samples as a 15 student, here understanding the real needs, so you are going to test, you will get facts, you will get more accurate information here, so you are using a qualitative research. So that here the result is stronger and richer evidence, both. So most, as you can see, most of the researchers, they use this type, the mixed method. We are using quantitative and the qualitative research. Now we have different types of questions. Okay. Could anybody from the audience please read the slide, the question type, and what is the likely method here? They can participate with us, please. Yes. What name?
What percentage of students?
Measurement. What percentage of students are satisfied with e-learning? Quantitative.
Okay. So why do you think you use quantitative instead of qualitative for answering this type of question?
Measuring.
Why? What is the indicator here in this question that you know you are using a quantitative method?
To satisfy measuring.
Satisfying also what? The percentage. We said that we are dealing in a quantitative, we are dealing with numbers, right? So when you are using percentage of students here, then that meaning you are using a quantitative method, right? Okay, could anybody, the second question for quantitative also could participate?
Not visible. You come forward.
Yes? Who can participate? Who can read?
Do first year students differ from final year students in time management? Quantitative.
Okay. Why it is quantitative, not qualitative, this question?
So it's measuring different final year students and first it's measuring
Excellent.
the
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. What's your name?
Kamakshi.
Amax. Okay. Now the third question. Who can talk, please?
Shanti.
First of all, what is the question type? What is the example? And what is the likely method here?
Then between relationship state and the employee motivation, quantitative.
Okay. Why it is quantitative? Why not qualitative?
Yes, measuring the relationship.
We are measuring the relationship.
Okay, so here there is a relationship between the leadership style and employee motivation, right? So how much? So we are dealing with different types of employees, right? Or how they are linked together? Are they satisfied, right, with the type of leadership? Now, could anybody tell me what are the leadership styles? What do I have, or examples of leadership styles?
Somebody can stand up and say.
Anybody can answer the question. What are the types of leadership styles we can have? I'm seeing students who are Googling the question, right? Or we are using ChatGPT now. Oh, ChatGPT is now old. Now it is Claude. There are many AI. Yes, can anybody tell me what are the leadership styles in management? Or give me examples of leadership style?
Communication.
Leadership style is autocratic.
Yes.
Autocratic.
Yes, we have democratic, we have autocratic, we have laissez-faire, right? These types. Now, democratic, which means that you are giving the chance that your management or your manager or your leader, you are sharing information together, taking your decisions and taking your decisions or ideas into consider. Autocratic, we are dealing like if it is the question or the idea, or it is centralized, like in the army commander when he is giving an order. Laissez-faire, you are giving freely. How you are doing? I am looking for results, right? So whatever type are you coming, not coming to the work, but at the end you have a target to do, and that. So do you think which type your dean or your chancellor here, which type of leadership is dealing with you? Is she autocratic or democratic, you think, is dealing? What do you think?
So in front of me, if you ask, they may not answer.
I'm asking what your students may say. Are you, which type of leadership you can talk frankly, okay? She will not do anything to you, don't worry.
Yeah, come on. You can answer. Autocratic or democratic? Autocratic. Democratic.
Autocratic, right? Her idea, her decision is number one. No, although she's taking, but what is in her mind, she's taking. Okay. So we have also different types of exploration, how the students, they describe their online learning experience. So they are writing their experiences here. So your likely method here is qualitative, meaning why do some employees resist organizational change? This is usually like the old people who are working in the place. Sometimes they don't know how to change, how to use ChatGPT, how to use now the new technological methods that are running. So at the end, look at the last one, the full picture in the question tag. How satisfied are customers and why? So we are using how, and you are answering also why. How for quantitative, why for qualitative. So the likely method you are using is the mixed methods, okay? So if you are as a types of data, and when it is numerical, scores, percentages, age, income rating, it is quantitative. If you are, your data is depending on your gender, types of department, yes or no answer is quantitative also. Textual, using interview and answer, journal entries, commitments, it is qualitative. If you are using more photos, videos, maps, your drawing is qualitative. And the field, if you are writing notes or using words or something, it is their observation and a natural settings, it is quality. So as you can see from this sample, you can see here at the survey. Now, when you are using 300 here in the survey, is it quantitative or qualitative?
Quantitative.
Qualitative or quantitative? Quantitative, right? Because we are saying that quantitative using large samples, right? Experiment 120. Could we measure it as a quantitative or a qualitative, the 120?
Quantitative.
It is, some people say, yes, what did you say? Sorry? Qualitative, but don't you think the sample is still high?
Quantitative. They're saying quantitative.
Right? So it's still quantitative. It's better to use the quantitative still. Now, as an interview, we are using 20. Is it qualitative or quantitative? Yes, it is qualitative. Also, the case study, you are using 4 samples. Definitely, it is qualitative, right? Okay. So how to read the chart? Surveys usually aim for broad coverage. Experiments, they need enough participants for testing difference. Interviews, case studies, they go deeper with fewer participants. Now, common quantitative data collection tools, surveys and questionnaires, closed-ended questions like scales you are using from 1 to 5. 1 is like, let's say, is words. 5 is the best. Easy to summarize in tables and charts. Testing and assignments, knowledge tests, skill tests, pre-test and post-test design, experiments and records, lab or field experiments, attendance, lab or field experiment, attendance, sales, output, performance, logs, useful for measuring change over time. So you are using here quantitative data. For qualitative interviews, one-to-one conversations, structured, semi-structured, unstructured. Now, do you know the difference between structured and unstructured interviews? Do you know what is the difference between these two?
Louder.
Structure means just allocate the questions for the interviews. Unstructured means they're asking by the way what they think, just in casual manner.
Yes, structured interviews, which means that the interviewer, he has the questions in his hand and he's answering, right? So he has already questions are available. But unstructured, which means that any question comes to the mind of the interviewer, he could ask. Maybe it is not written, just coming from his mind. Semi-structured, which means sometimes it is written and also if you are using from his mind. So useful for personal experience. Focus groups, we are small groups if there is a discussion between them, sharing their views and interaction, good for exploring opinions, observations, and document watching behavior in the real life. So watching behaviors in real setting, analyzing the reports, diaries or online posts, helpful for context-rich evidence. You are using here qualitative data. As an example of a quantitative survey, as you can see that if you survey, these are the questions. Am I satisfied with the course materials? The instructor explains concept clearly. Online resources are easy to use. I would recommend this course to others. So 1 is strongly disagree. For the type of scale, 5 is strongly agree. So you can here answer it when the interview. So when we are having an experiment, they test cause and effect relationships. First of all, you are selecting the participants, creating 2 groups, applying treatment to 1 group, measuring outcomes, and comparing the results. As a simple example here for an experiment, a lecturer wants to test whether interactive quizzes improving the exam performance. Group A uses quizzes, maybe. Group B uses normal review only. After the exam, then we are comparing what are the scores they are getting. As an example for correlation research here, correlation, they check whether 2 variables, when they are moving together. Here, like if your exam scores increase as study hours increase, this shows a positive relationship. But sometimes, no, it is not accurate. Maybe there are students who are more focused, or they are only studying for a few hours, but the scores are also high. But correlation does not prove that one variable may cause the other. Example of an interview study here, okay. Possible interview, we are using questions. How did you experiment? Okay, questions. Or how do you experience the shifts to online learning? What are the challenges you are facing during the online classes? What is helping you to stay more motivated? But possible findings: students value flexibility but miss classroom interactions. Teach internet problems, increasing frustration. Teacher support helping students may adapt better. Example of a focus group. A university, as a topic we are using, a university wants to improve campus services, inviting 8 students, discussing the transport, the food, the study space, and communication. Here, the strength: participants react to each other ideas. New issues may appear during discussion. Challenging: some participants may speak more than others. The moderator must manage here the time and balance. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the types of focus group they are using. Discussion can reveal the group norms and also sharing the concept. As an example of a case study examine one case very deeply, like of a possible case, one school that successfully adopted a blended marketing, online and offline. One company reduced employees turnover, one startup that expanded quickly. So the data sources here, you are using interviews, documents, observations, performance records. The purpose is understanding the case in detail, identifying the lessons and context, explaining how and why change may happen. As an example of observation, classroom observation: a researcher observes study participation during the group work. Observer here records who is speaking, taking the notes, and making a summary, who is leading, who groups, solving the task. So what observation can reveal real behavior in natural settings, body language and interaction patterns. differences between reported behavior and the actual behavior. As a quantitative research process, what are the processes that you are using in the quantitative research? A common step-by-step sequence. You are identifying the problem. So when you are doing a problem, research on problem, you have to identify it, do a literature review, building hypotheses, choosing samples, collecting the data, analyzing the statistics, which by using a software, whatever statistical software you are using, and at the end there is the discussion and you are reporting the findings. In the qualitative research process, we have to identify now not a problem, but the topic that we are doing our research, entering the field access participants, collecting if there is interviews, observations, the data, developing themes, interpret meaning, and also at the end you are doing a rich report findings. So when you are choosing the sampling in the quantitative and qualitative research, then the way participants are selected is different. As a goal, in the quantitative, you are representing the population. In the qualitative, you are selecting information for the rich cases. The common methods in quantitative is randomly, stratified, systematic. Qualitative is purposive, snowball, convenience. These are the types of research methods that you can be used. If you are taking this type of subject, you will know each one by one. Sampling sizes in quantitative is usually larger, but in qualitative is smaller. The main concern in quantitative is generalizability, and qualitative it is depth and relevance and more focused. So reliability and validity in quantitative research, the good measurement is essential here. In reliability, you are using consistency, which means if the tool is used again, it should give similar results. As an example, a scale measuring satisfaction of consistency. Validity here is more accurate, meaning accuracy. Tool that you should measure, it claims to measure. As an exam should measure learning. So you are not depending on memory in exam. You should know what you are learning. Sometimes questions that are coming in the exam, it is not about listing and explaining, because sometimes you are using questions are coming to you explain in your own words. So you have to not use your slides, or you have to not use your, depends on what you have gain information from your subject. The truth witness and quantitative research here, as we can see in credibility, findings feeling believable, the action using member checking or triangulation, the transferability findings may fit similar settings, getting thick, description of context. The dependability process is logical and traceable. You can easily trace it. But here, an example, we are keeping like an audited trail, and the comparability findings are grounded in data. So you are showing nodes, your quotas, and reflexive nodes. As a quantitative data analysis, descriptive, your statistics, everybody, when you are aware of what is the meaning of the mean, the median, the mode, you are using percentages, standard deviation. As an inferential statistics, there is the t-test, ANOVA, correlation, regression, the chi-square. The goal here is describing the patterns, comparing the groups, searching relationships, and supporting, or if any of your hypotheses are rejected. So researchers in qualitative data analysis, the researchers search for patterns in words and meaning. Transcribe the data, read it carefully, code the important, what are the ideas, important ideas, what are the group codes, building themes, interpret findings. As an example, interview comments such as I felt isolated, I missed my classmates, I needed more support, may be grouped into this theme called the social disconnection. As a chart example here, student satisfaction score, a bar chart is useful here. You are using the bar chart. If you want to talk about your satisfaction or checking scores, You have, as you can see, we have divided by teaching materials, the assessment, the support. Support has the highest score, assessment has the lowest score. University here can prioritize improvement in the assessment clarity, but as you can see, it is using the lowest score. If you are using a chart, as you can see, this is we call the pie chart, shows how a whole is divided into parts. As you can see in the blue, here it is quantitative, 45%. In the green, you are using 30%. If researchers, you are using mixed methods, is 25. So the possible use here showing the percentage of respondents in each category. And also when it is useful, when the number of category is small, you are using qualitative. If you're using large numbers, you are using quantitative. Less useful when there are many categories or every small differences. As a table example, like from codes to themes, the statement here, I could not ask questions easily online. It is the limited interaction communication barrier. The internet often disconnected during class. It is because of a technical problem, so it will lead to learning barriers. Recorded lectures helping. If you are recording your lecture, will help you review later, so it is flexible. You can access to it whenever you want, so it will give you a supportive feature. If you are missing working with classmates, then what will happen? There will be a lack of social contact, and it will lead to social disconnection. Now, ethical issues in both methods, sharing ethical principles, both in quantitative and qualitative, because if I am doing a research, it should be an ethical and a legal way. Informing consent, confidentiality, voluntary participation, nobody should be harmed. In the quantitative, you are using data privacy in online surveys, anonymous storage of scores and records, so here you are having fair treatment of control groups. In qualitative, you are using sensitive personal stories because you are giving examples of stories, so you have to from the real life. So it shows here power relationship during the interviews, protecting, identifying photos and case descriptions. So if you can see, remember in the first slide here, this one, we have these things. Now, maybe some of you have asked, well, wondering what are these, why I have put it in this presentation. Now it is showing why we are using it. See the numbers here. For strength of quantitative research works well for measurement and comparison involving large samples. Findings are easy to present in charts and tables, supporting statistical text and generalization. It is useful for policy decisions, performance tracker. So typical using here, if you are doing an education survey, if you are doing a market research, entering a new business, definitely you have to make a research at first of all. If you are finance, health indicators, then you are using a quantitative research. As you can see here, they are using these signs as a qualitative, providing rich, detailed understanding. If you are somebody saying a quote or something, you use these things, capturing emotions, beliefs, and experiences. Useful for complex or new topics, explaining the reasons behind patterns. Works well in natural setting and real content. So the typical here, using it in leadership studies, classroom research, cultural, also if in change management. Is there any challenges or limitations? Yes, for both of the methods here. The numbers do not always explain the full story. As a common limitation may miss emotions and context, structured questions may limit participant expression, statistics may look precious, but still may hide some important details. Because if you are also using a large sample, does not guarantee the deep understanding. Maybe the sample that you have chosen are only focusing on one idea, but what about the other type of samples? If you are using 300, 400, 500 sample people. As an example, a survey may show low job satisfaction, but it may not explain whether the reason is why it is low job satisfaction, why employees are not working their full capacity, or they are energetic in their work. Is it because the pay is less, more workload, the leadership, they are use is not treating them well. The environment that they are working in, the culture sometimes, if you have problems like with nationalities or religions, sometimes this issue happens in these types of limiting. And qualitative, usually involving smaller samples. So the analysis may take a long time here because you are focusing one by one, each sample. So you could make an interview with some sample. It could take large time of doing. Sometimes, as you can see, when you're going for an interview job, you may sit for hours to reach your turn. So this is a limitation, okay? Because sometimes your time is precious. Interpretation may be influenced by the researcher. Findings are harder to generalize to if there is large population. You can't not always use smaller samples in your report. You have to, the topic or the thing that you are dealing, you have to more and more. So as an example, 10 rich interviews can explain why students struggle, but they not present every student in the university. You are choosing only small samples here. This doesn't definitely, maybe it's not the idea or the overview of all the students in this university. How we are choosing the right method, it depends on the question that you are going to ask and answer in your research or report. If it is measurable levels, comparing groups or testing relationships, it's quantitative, the best choice. Exploring experiences, meaning social processes is qualitative. You are needing both statistical trends and detail. It is the mixed methods. Working with large population, as we said, it is usually quantitative. If you are working or studying a small focus group and depth, you are definitely using qualitative. As a takeaways, as a summary now to our discussion, for revision, quantitative, as I said, we are using numbers, measurement, large samples, statistics, generalization. And qualitative, you are using words, meaning, stories, small focus samples, theme, different concepts. Best practice, which are most researchers, they use both quantitative and qualitative, which is, we are calling it the mixed method, matching the method to the research question, using ethical, strict procedures, present findings clearly with suitable visuals. Thank you for your attendance and for your listening. So if anybody from this as a summary, do you think which method from your point of view you can choose for your research topic? If you are doing now a topic, you can share with us which type of now or you will gonna do or use in your research, which kind of quantitative and qualitative, and thank you all for your attention. I can now accept any questions or any discussion. I am very honored to do this for you.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. That was an interesting session. You neatly explained both quantitative and qualitative research. Maybe we will ask students to come out with any questions if they have.
Anybody has a question?
Come on, you can ask some questions.
It's not about also question. You can share with us that if you are doing a research or something, you can share with us which type of method you think it is better for your research now. Because from this presentation, you will be able now to choose the suitable method for your research or whatever you are doing.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Quantitative and qualitative method, which best method for you, sir? Point of view.
For me, I prefer the mixed method, both of them, the qualitative and quantitative. Yes.
Next method, whether to use, whether to do quantitative first or qualitative first, sir?
No, as I said before, it depends on the question you are from the beginning of your research. If it is like how much or how many you are dealing, so you are using quantitative. If your question is depending of why and how, it is qualitative. Also, if you are, as we said, if you are using, if you think that your research will more depend on numbers, statistics, then quantitative. If it is more theoretical, then it will be qualitative. It depends on your type of research that you are doing.
But I think he's asking, her question is which to do first, whether quantitative first we have to do in the next method, first quantitative, then quantitative.
If you are using the mixed method, definitely you are using qualitative first, like the information, then you are analyzing it in statistical application or whatever you are using. So first of all, because you are gathering information, right? So you are depending on the theoretical part, so it is qualitative first. Then if you want to analyze this information or data that you have collected, it will shift to the quantitative method. Any
Any
questions?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can you give guidelines for conducting focused group discussion?
Now, when we are focusing on a group, like if I'm asking you, like you with your colleagues. Now, often when you are in a like sitting, what do you do more theoretically, or you are using more numbers? It depends on what you are talking about or discussing.
See, repeat your question.
Is it clear, my answer to you?
Yupa, who's talking there? Akshara, you repeat your question. I think you didn't get it properly.
Okay. Can you give some guidance for conducting focused group discussion?
So she's asking for the guidelines of conducting focus group discussion. You have explained about focus group, right? Is there any guidelines?
Yes, as you can see, like I'm giving you now an example. Maybe you didn't be with me. As an example of focusing groups, what is the meaning of focusing groups here? You are at a discussion from a revealed group norms, and we are sharing concerns together. As an example here, like if you are improving campus services in your university, you are inviting like 8 students to discuss what are the types of discussion you are in this topic like. So you are like transport, the food, the study space, your communication. Is it comfortable? Does it contain sports rooms or something? So the strength here, participants, they can reach to other ideas. Everyone has an idea, has any information they can share. New issues may appear also during the discussion. You are thinking of something, but during the discussion also there are some more ideas, more points could appear, which will be helping in improving the topic or we are talking about as the campus services. Like if you are discussing you are discussing only the transport, food, and study space and communication. Someone will ask, oh, what about the labs and how to improve in the university? How we can improve the labs? So it is another type of discussion. If there is any athletic rooms. So it's another idea. So you are not only focusing on these topics. In focus groups, it will be wider. We are using many types of ideas. As we said, new issues may appear during the discussion. But the challenge here, some participants, they speak more than others. Like a team leader, he thinks like he's a leader. Okay, I will do the talking. Nobody interrupts, no ideas. This is a challenge. Because at the end, we are all sharing ideas. At the end, we are all learning from each other, right? We are keep learning, even in maybe if a group from old people and youth people. It doesn't mean all the time that the old people are always right. No, because nowadays youth people, they are doing things more better than the old people. So they can use more ideas better. So that doesn't mean that this guy is older than us. That means he's more wiser or he knows everything. No, definitely. Because this is a challenge. You can only, like somebody has an ego or something, he's only feeling that he's only the person that he knows everything and never allows others to share the ideas. So this is a challenge here. So the moderator here of this focus group must manage time and balance. This is why working as a team, why people work as a team nowadays in all the organizations, in all the areas, because as a team, we are sharing the ideas, we are sharing everything with each other. The team leader is giving the instructions. Sometimes these instructions could be discussed, could be changed. Maybe this idea by the team leader, maybe it is wrong. As a participant, I have a more effective idea than. So this is as we can see, as you know, the saying, one for all for one. It is better here to do. Is it clear for you, my answer?
Yes.
Yes, sir. It's fine. Fine, Professor.
Any
And,
other? Yes.
I just want to ask you, see, today, even your students might have been using different AI tools like ChatGPT
Yes.
and all. So how
Yes.
you are controlling that usage, or how you are restricting any strategy that you have been adopting in your
Yes, now even now the students, they are using ChatGPT. Now there are more softwares like Turnitin. Everybody knows the Turnitin, right? Now they have done a software especially for the assignments that is done by the using AI tools. Okay. Now, if you are doing a research now you can just write the topic of the research. The ChatGPT or the Claude can give you everything now, right? In seconds, do a research in a matter of. But is this accurate? No, it can't be now. You can't participate with this type of research doing a chat because there are now special softwares to catch this. Sometimes I'm letting them because. Before when open book questions or open book, exams, they are using resources. They can bring their books. They can use their mobiles now. Now it is very easy now. No need to use all this. We can just give the question and that. But the question appears here. Does the information from this type, like from AI, is it accurate? Or no? We should ask these questions. This is why you can see in every application there is the free version and the paid version. Free version is not accurate. So don't be happy if you are using the free version in ChatGPT or Claude or any type, because this is why you have to pay. When you are paying, you are using more accurate. So if you see in ChatGPT, there is the free version, there is the $20 version, and there is also $200 version each month. So it depends on the software that you are using.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Thank you so much. Maybe I'll
Most welcome.
Yeah, propose vote
Most
of thanks.
welcome.
Ready? Yeah. Maybe I'll request the student to give a vote of thanks formally, then we'll close it.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to express my sincere thanks to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Walid Alrawi, for his valuable
Yes.
and insightful session on quantitative versus qualitative research methods. I extend my gratitude to Theivanai Institute of Business Management for the organizing this informative webinar. My special thanks to our director, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, and faculty members, and my dear friends for making this event a success. Thank you.
It's a great honor to participate with you. Inshallah, if you are doing business, you will study a topic research methods and management, so you will get to know more and more these types of methods. You will remember, inshallah, you will be able to answer your professor when he asks you, I hope.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Professor. Thanks for joining us.
Most welcome, most welcome, most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye, and have a nice weekend to you all. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Bye. Bye.